911, what is the address of your emergency?
519 16th Street. I just got home. My back door is kicked in, and my girl ain't answering the phone. My son's inside with her and everything. I'm about to go in and see what the f*** is going on.
The voice you just heard on the 911 call was Angila Wilder's fiancé, Chris Jackson. He doesn't know it yet, but his life is about to shatter. In November 2015, Richie Wilder Jr. murdered his ex-wife Angila Wilder, stabbing her 44 times in her Minot, North Dakota home. Evidence pinned him to the crime, and in December 2016, he was convicted, handed life without parole plus 5 years for a failed escape attempt. Then came the jaw-dropper. His new wife, Cynthia Wilder, confessed in 2017 to plotting the murder and scrubbing the evidence. She took an offered plea for conspiracy and aiding his escape, and in May 2018 was locked away for life without parole. A crime unfolds, shadows cast blame, and the truth hides in silence. But what breaks that silence? Fear, guilt, or a slip of the tongue?
Cindy, we've been doing this investigation now for 5 weeks. Straight. We haven't been sitting here doing nothing. We've been putting in a lot of hours. We've been working with a lot of other agencies and people. And the evidence, when we talked to Richie before, the evidence, or he said the evidence will show the truth or something similar to that. Okay. And that's, he was right. He made us go the long way around. But that was right. We have evidence backing up the fact that we arrested him. Okay. And we also know that you know more than what you told us on day one. And that's what we want to talk to you about. We know a lot more about Sydney and Richie Wilder than we ever wanted to know. We know a lot about your personal life from your electronics and from people that we've talked to. And again, that's a lot more than what we wanted to know or that anybody should know. Okay? But we're talking about the death of a human being. Whether it was a human being that was liked by you or not. It's the death of a human being. Okay? And we want to visit with you about it, and we want you to be honest with us this time.
I have nothing more to say.
Oh, we know that you do. Okay.
You told us that you know that you do, actually, when it comes back around to it.
We have a lot.
You lied, and I can show that you lied.
Cindy, we have a lot that we want to share with you, too. That may be a surprise to you, or it may not be. That's up to you. But it's stuff that I would think that you would want to know. Are you okay with that?
Stuff about me?
Stuff about Richie and you.
Both of you. I mean, when he says the last 5 weeks, I've gotten to know you and Richie Wilder really well. I mean, I didn't even have to talk to you. I know more about your guys' life than I care to know. And I don't, I'm kind of 50-50 on what your relationship, your marriage really is like. Either behind closed doors or not.
Who did we talk to?
Who did we talk to? We talked to a lot of people. I bet you we have at a minimum 30 different statements.
That's from family members, people I work with.
Everybody.
I don't mean any disrespect by saying this, Cindy. I'm a little bit confused about your relationship with Richie. I know he's your husband, but I'll tell you what, you don't fit the criteria of the other women that he's sleeping with. Not at all.
It's not a cheater. Do not accuse him of that.
We don't
I
have
can
to
prove
accuse
that.
him. We have proof.
From emails from Angela?
No. We're not talking about Angela. We're talking about Jennifer. We're talking
A
about,
coworker that we watch her kids sometimes, and she cooks food.
okay, I was afraid
Just a
that might have
second.
been the story that you
Yeah,
were giving.
I did too. This is Jennifer, right?
Yeah.
This is Jennifer. And this is Jennifer Lynn Padilla, or she also goes by Jennifer Lynn Wong.
Okay.
Or J-Lo is who he calls her in his phone.
Yeah.
We sat right in front of Jennifer, just like we're sitting in front of you right now. And Jennifer told us about the sexual relationship she's had with Richie since the beginning of the year.
Well, then that's awesome. Congratulations.
We're not trying to offend you or piss you off with that information. We're not.
Because I know it's not true.
But
You're trying to rattle my bones.
Okay. You want to know what
Cindy,
else is true?
we can play the recordings. We can show
The
you some
recordings
videos.
at her house, recordings at my house, recordings at their work.
Cindy, we wouldn't do this if we didn't have proof. I'm not out to throw people under the bus. I'm not. I don't want to throw
Well, it sounds like that from day one.
No.
I can understand.
If my ex-husband died, I'm sure I would be the only suspect in that situation too.
We haven't had one suspect. We checked into other people. But Cindy,
Where's Chris at in all of this? He just disappeared?
No, we know exactly where Chris is.
The whole time we've known where Chris is.
Okay. And I can understand you saying, you're just trying to rattle my cage. That's totally, I would be thinking the same thing if I was sitting in your seat. I honestly would. But we can, and I'm so sorry to say it, because I was under the impression that you knew about some of it. But by seeing your reaction, I don't think you did. Okay. And what I mean, there's more than one. Jennifer and Richie were trying to have a baby, or she thought she was pregnant even at one point.
Twice. 2 months back to back, she thought she was pregnant.
Okay. And as Detective Matthijs shows you some of the other photos, you're going to see the type of women that he's been hooking up with. And that's what I didn't mean to disrespect you. That's what I was saying.
That's why you went to school and ask inappropriate questions. You're fucking 10 years old.
Nobody went to school and asked inappropriate questions. I've got that interview too. No one asked inappropriate questions. I didn't. He was there.
What do you think was...
If dad kisses other women, that's completely inappropriate.
That's not what the question was.
What was the question?
Now you have to remember too, it's an adult oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember how. Okay. That's not the question I asked. We got information. We had to follow up. Okay? You did not...
Information from who? Her daughter, who thinks she's a fucking fairy?
No. It came from an adult.
That they work with,
and
probably.
We have to follow up on it. Okay? Here's the thing. I'm being completely honest with you. I wouldn't throw pictures in your face. I wouldn't say this stuff.
Well, it's just a picture of her. I can see that on Facebook.
Right.
It shows me no proof that she slept with my husband.
I have the proof. I have messages after messages after messages after messages.
That doesn't tell me that they slept together.
There's people at the hospital that knew they were sleeping together.
Did they record it?
Your husband talked about it through text message with
That doesn't
her.
prove shit. That's text message.
Okay.
If you want to look at my phone, conversations I've had with other men. No, she's fucking ugly.
That's Joanne. She's at the hospital. You met her at the hospital. You know who this is?
No.
That's another one. And that's not it.
He's got relationships with all three of these women, and they're
They're recent relationships.
Not because of text messages.
No. We sat down and talked to her in person. She sat in that chair.
100% sexual. That's all it was. She doesn't really give a shit about Richie other than sleeping with him.
You know what? Richie lost his job because of these little bitches.
Richie lost his job because he lost control of his anger. We have his employment records. We know what happened.
Yeah, because...
Not because of these, in your words, not because of these little bitches.
No.
They love him.
Mm-hmm.
They love him.
Yep.
She still loves him.
Yeah, because her ex-husband was a fucking psycho. They got married.
Do you know that Richie pays for things for her? Do you know that?
Yeah.
What does he pay for? What do you know?
I don't know. He's helped her out with car, with rent.
And you're
She's
okay
made
with
us
that?
food. I help people out all the time.
Okay. But he's also been having sex with her since at least
Well, I want to see
February.
proof of that.
I've
Do you have
got-
it on video?
I don't have it on video. I've got tons of. I have her in front of me.
I don't care what she fucking says.
Cindy, I think we have her on video, don't we?
We have Joanne on video saying it.
We interviewed her in her
I
apartment.
don't want to see a video of them saying shit. I want to see a fucking video of them having sex with my husband. That's what I want.
Cindy,
I don't believe you until I see that.
Cindy, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We have these women talking about having sex with Richie.
And he talks about when they had sex. He goes into detail about the sex they had with them.
Is it a text message?
Absolutely. And in person, we've heard it from them. It's not a coincidence that at least 3 people that I have pictures of have been having sexual relations with your husband. That's just not, back to back. He hid their number in his phone under a male's name.
Under J-Lo.
No.
I knew that.
She's Steven in his phone. Steven. This is Steven. Does this look like Steven? This isn't Steven.
Steven's one person or multiple people?
This is Steven.
Okay.
This girl is saved in his phone as Steven.
Okay.
And he deletes all of his messages.
I don't look through his phone. I don't give two shits.
Cindy,
I trust my husband.
let me tell you something, though.
100%.
Well, then you're wrong. And we're not doing this to piss you off, okay? This is Richie. We have dug into his life and we've looked at him under a microscope. This is your husband, okay? We can play you recordings of us talking to these women. We'd be happy to do that. We can show you videos of recordings that we've done. We can show you and have you listen to recordings of many of his coworkers that say, yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware that he's doing that. Yeah, he's in a relationship with her. She works down
You
in
know
this
what? If
department.
you went to my previous employment, people would probably say I was having an affair with other people too. People like to fucking talk
No,
in this
they never
house.
said that.
You went to people at my old job?
Yeah.
The group home that I used to work at.
No, I'm talking about Roosevelt
The
School.
last school that you were at.
Nobody said that. Are you having affairs with other men?
Currently, no.
Were you then? Or
Never since I've been married to Richie.
okay. Well, he is busy. He's very busy. Away from you.
And I'm going to tell you, I feel bad for you. I'm going to reiterate 5 weeks. 5 weeks I've gotten to know you and Richie. Okay? He is lying and lying and lying to you. And I hate that I have volumes and volumes of evidence of that. And it just kept coming up. Because I see Cindy as someone that's always home with the kids. Or at work. Or it's just your circle is just so small. Cindy doesn't get to do all the fun stuff Richie does.
Because I choose not to.
Because you choose not to have
My
affairs,
husband
which is the right thing to do.
doesn't have this wild, crazy life that you think of either. He used to work 12-hour shifts and then he'd come
But
home
he
and
made
sleep.
time. No, he made time after work to have sex with these women. He did. And I understand and I saw it. I didn't have to talk to him. I didn't have to talk to you. I saw what he was doing to you over and over again. Why is he deleting his text messages? He doesn't want to get caught.
I don't look in his phone anyway. Ever
I'm not
since
saying you had to. You didn't have to look in his
it's
phone.
a trust thing.
It is.
So you understand
But he had
too.
a whole different life.
It deletes them from you, but when we run the forensics,
find
it
them.
brings them back up.
And
We
that's-
see
and
the
that's how we
deleted
found them.
content.
And I feel for you. I see that the kids are a struggle all the time. I saw that day in and day out for you. I see the struggles that you've been having. I know you were trying to get pregnant. I know you're pissed off that people around you are pregnant. I feel for you. And it's absolute bullshit that he had this whole other life. How is that fair? That's not. And you're at home taking care of your child with Richie and these 2 other children that I'm sure you do love and care about. But how is that fair? He's a manipulator, and he has been for a very long time. And I think you do love him. And you care about him because he's your husband and he's the father of your children. But he has been living a complete other life. And it's not fair.
Their lives.
Lives. And you know what made me sick about Jennifer? is that you know Jennifer. You know where Jennifer lives. You know that Jennifer watches your children. You know that Jennifer makes your food.
You know her children.
You know I
You've
agree.
attended parties.
You know I agree.
Their daughter, yeah.
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 The birthday party at Oak Park. I think it was Oak Park. And all along, he's been sleeping with her on the side. 2 months in a row, she thought she was pregnant. And I'm going to tell you this. He was happy about it. How is that fair when you're trying to get pregnant?
How are you always happy about it?
Because I could see the writing.
He
was never pissed. He was never pissed. Jennifer told people at the hospital that she wanted to get pregnant by him. That she saw them being...
Yeah, there's also people wanting to buy his sperm at work.
I don't know anything about. I see Richie abusing everything he has in his life. He's taking advantage of everything.
Who wanted to buy his sperm at work?
Well, I don't know specific names, but he just said...
And again, no disrespect, but he was giving that sperm away. Did you know that Angela was pregnant?
No, I did not.
She was.
When she was murdered, she was pregnant.
How long was she?
I don't have the exacts, but we have confirmed with our medical examiner that she was pregnant.
Was it Christopher's?
Christopher Jackson's?
Mm-hmm.
Are you thinking that it might not be?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why is that?
Because I know her history also.
Okay.
She cheated on Richie with Chris while he was at basic training.
While Richie was at basic?
Yeah, I mean, this was before they got divorced.
Right.
She's always been cheating
right.
with him. With their whole marriage.
It was Christopher's.
Yeah. The baby was Christopher's baby. But she was pregnant when she was murdered.
She was pregnant when Richie killed her.
Don't say that.
It's the truth. That's the evidence that we've gathered.
What evidence?
It's scientific evidence.
What was the weapon used?
We cannot change the scientific evidence. It's solid.
Well, I want to know what the evidence is. You're accusing my husband of cheating on me, of having sex with these 3 women, and now of killing Angela.
Yes.
What do you want to know?
Yeah.
I want to see her dead body. I want to see exactly how
she's in a grave. She's been buried. She's been laid to rest.
Well, I want to see a picture. I want to know exactly. You have this evidence. What evidence?
Scientific evidence. And when I say that, that means DNA. You can't mess with DNA. You can't change it. You can't take it away.
That you got from our house when you searched it without a warrant?
We have DNA evidence.
You gave us consent, and that's
because you were harassing us.
No.
But it's not from your residence. We have DNA evidence that we took from the Honda. We have DNA evidence that we took off.
Of course there would be Richie's DNA in my Honda.
Of course Richie's DNA is in there. Whose DNA shouldn't be in the Honda?
Whose blood should not be in the Honda?
Nobody's blood has ever been in the Honda.
There is blood. There was blood in the Honda. Whose blood do you think was in the Honda?
I don't know.
I'll tell you, Angela's blood.
Where was it?
It was in the Honda. We're giving you information. We are not out here to hang you, Cindy.
This is real information.
Huh? This is real information.
We don't, this isn't a bullshit time. Somebody's in jail for murder. We're not bullshitting you.
We're
telling you the truth. And again, I'm going to explain again. It's DNA evidence. It shows exactly who it belongs to.
And it's not the only DNA evidence. That's part of it. Do we owe it to you to tell you these things? No, we don't. But we want you to tell us what you know. That's why we're sharing these things. Because we know you know more. Were you with him when he did this?
I was at home.
Okay. So did he stay at the house at all that night?
Yes, he came home after work.
Okay. What time did he leave the house?
When?
That night.
He didn't leave the house that night.
Yes, he did.
He did leave the house that night.
No, he didn't. I was up several times with the kids and he was out cold.
That's not true.
That's not true. And let me tell you this before you say anything else or we go further. Don't dig a bigger hole for yourself. Because you're in that hole with Richie right now. I will tell you that. Don't make it bigger and deeper.
And understand that we're used to people digging holes. Everybody does it. But the deeper you go, the harder it's going to be to get up. So you've told us one version, which parts may be true, but it's not the complete truth. We know that it's written all over your face. And you know what else is written all over your face? You look tough. And by that I mean you look like you're worn out.
I am just say tired and worn out.
You want to teach 20 kindergartners a week before fucking Christmas?
Okay.
But a month ago, 5 weeks ago, when we sat with you in the principal's office, you looked the same way.
I looked like this since I was probably 6 years old because my mom's fucking every guy with a belt. I had to take care of my kids, my brother and sister all through high school. I move away to college. What does my sister do? She drops out and gets pregnant. What does my brother do? Fucking, he's been in and out of juvie since he was 14. And guess where he's at again? He's in fucking jail again. He just got out 2 days before Thanksgiving.
Okay. And how old are you?
25.
Okay. That sucks. That sucks. And I'm sorry that you've had to live that life. And I'm sorry that you're having to go through this. I truly am. But everybody hits bottom when they're in a situation like that.
Oh, this is not bottom.
Well, I think you've hit bottom.
Far from bottom.
I think you've hit bottom. Your husband is in jail for murder. And you're drug into that mess. And you know more, Cindy. Were you 100% involved in this? Were you standing there when she was killed? I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
I was at home.
Okay. But you know about it.
I know what you've told me and what I've seen in the paper and on the Daily News app on my phone.
Yeah, but there's information that you know that has certainly got your mind going.
And your vehicle,
at the very least.
Your vehicle was at the crime scene. We know your vehicle was there. Your vehicle. I understand you both own it, but you drive it.
Well, most of the time I drive it, but...
Right.
Were you driving it that night?
No.
Okay. There's blood on the passenger door of that vehicle that belongs to Angela. How did that get there?
You're positive it's not?
Positive.
Absolutely positive.
100% positive.
Well, I don't know why her blood would be on my car door if she supposedly died in her house.
Because who killed her was in your car. That's how.
The man that I don't think gives two shits about you, Cindy. He may care about you, again, as being the mother of his children. But other than that, you saw the 3 pictures. That's what he's attracted to.
Pictures of 3 Asian women.
Yeah. You want to know how I found them? Through the phone numbers I found on your husband's phone of sexual talk and conversation, or I've sat in front of them and they've told me about the sex they've had with your husband. And I can narrow it down to the exact days and times for that conversation with the text messages on his phone.
You don't want to believe that, Cindy. And that's understandable. But it's the truth. That's the type of person we're dealing with here. Did you help him with any of the evidence that relates to this crime?
I was at home.
Okay. But did you use your vehicle to haul any of the evidence that was used in this crime?
No. I mean, was a car seat, was that a weapon used? Because if that was a weapon, then fuck. I've got 2 car seats in my car right now. Hell, I've been hauling them around since we bought them. I don't know, was that the weapon?
No.
I don't know what's in my car that was the weapon.
Not a weapon.
I don't know what you're...
She was stabbed with a knife.
Okay, like a knife, like anybody has in their kitchen, like...
No, like a folding knife.
I don't know what a folding knife is.
Or the pocket knife.
Oh,
Yeah.
like a...
Sure.
I know.
Okay. Oh, my brother... My dad. Or his dad.
I mean, there's all different kinds, but I mean, that's how she died. Are you guilty of anything to do with this crime?
No.
Okay. Well, then work with us. It's time to, you've been cleaning up. It sounds like you've been cleaning up.
For a long time. You've been taking care of everything for a long time.
Yeah. And it's not fair, but nobody deserves a life like this. You say that, yeah, you're in your small little circle at home with just the kids there and everything. Me too. And that's what I want too. That's life to me. Not out running around carrying on a life over here and a life over there. That's not my idea of a great life. It sounds like we share the same idea of what it should be. But you and Richie don't. He likes that too. From all the information that we've seen and from research that we've done, yeah, he likes the family life too. But he's not about to give up everything else. What do you know about his involvement in this?
Nothing.
That's not true.
No. And I told you that first day of the interview at the school that it was just everything about you just sit in front of me. You knew more. You know, I know that you know more. We're at that point now. I look at you and it just like I'm back again. Tired, worn out. I know you've had the depression. You talked about it with him. The baby stuff. You've got so much weight on your shoulders. And he just is just sitting in this room the last 20 minutes, he had added a ton more weight on your shoulders. He doesn't care. He doesn't. That's not fair. You have children that you need to be at home with. And it pisses me off even more that, in a sense, he doesn't care about his kids either. So reckless with his life that now you're having to sit here right now with us. And he's in jail. Wow. I know you've got some health problems that you've been battling, some female problems that you've been battling. It's like one thing after the other. And I'm sorry that we have to give this information to you. But you're wrapped up in this just as much as he is.
It's probably the norm for you to feel this way and to look run down. But I know that it's not 100% of the time because our research has shown where you're happy and fun and you look healthy. And recent stuff. So, I mean, but it sounds like your life has been tough probably as long as you can remember. Why did you hate Angela so bad?
I don't think I ever said I hated her.
Why did you dislike her to the point of calling her a bitch?
Crazy, dumb.
Because Sunday after Sunday, I could see and the complete different kids they were after being a week with her. And then it takes 2-3 days to get them sleeping properly and eating properly. And because over there, they
into their routine. It took a couple of days to fit them into like a routine, right? A healthy routine, a healthy family routine. And that bugged you at this job because it's stressful and it adds more work to your day. And on top of that, you still have to pay her money for kids.
Yeah, because she lies about the income that she has.
And that's stressful. And you want to know what pissed me off is the fact that he's helping Jennifer out. But, I mean, really? Take care of your first family. Take care of your wife and your kids.
You're saying I'm not taking care of her?
No, I didn't say that. I'm telling Richie you shouldn't be taking care of Jennifer.
I'll say
You guys
it.
should be first.
If you're looking for somebody, well, I'll say it, you're not taken care of.
Because I'm tired?
Because you're tired, whether you're physically abused, I can't prove any of that. I'm not going to sit here and say that because I have no proof of it. But are you mentally abused, emotionally abused? Yes.
Not from Richie.
Yes, you are. He does not take care of you. That's not.
Because he's too busy taking care of other women.
And I think he's the type of person to where if he made a commitment to one of these other women, they'd probably slip right into his same routine because that's the type of person he is.
So he'd have a house with them, raise kids with them.
He talked about it. Yes.
Yes, he did. I don't know what the plans were. I would assume that he would have divorced you then at some point.
And I know that him and Jennifer talked about you guys not being together.
And let me say something else that's probably fair to you. Are we trying to rattle your cage with some of this stuff?
I know you are.
We said no, we're not. But yeah, you're right. Of course,
I watch Law and Order on a daily basis.
Okay. And we are. I guess I don't look at it as rattle your cage, but I'm looking at it as putting it on the table where it needs to be seen. So we are trying to. I mean, for us to sit here and say why else would we be talking about that? So you're right on that. Have I been looking forward to talking to you to see if you knew about this? Because I couldn't imagine any wife that's okay with this lifestyle. Yes, I have been looking forward to this meeting.
And I kind of knew pretty quick that you didn't have a clue about the sexual relationships that he was having. And I felt bad for you.
But some people told us you knew about it. And I thought, wow.
Yeah.
How is that even possible?
I still don't believe it. You can say I'm in denial or whatever, but until I see
that's fine.
My husband having sex with another woman.
It's gonna come out. It'll come out when it's time.
Gonna be a he said, she said situation.
Okay. Yeah, because we don't have video of it. We have these women.
Interviews.
And women that will testify to that. I mean, these are women in his life, Cindy. I mean, it's.
And it wasn't just like in the last month. This has been going on 4 months.
You're not the damning piece of evidence that we need. I mean, if you were, this would have taken place a long time ago. Richie is under arrest. That's not going to change. He's in jail for murder.
Can I see that warrant then that says he's under arrest?
Is it scanned in or is it on your desk?
Scanned in. I'll go print it off and show you if you need to see it in person.
And the warrant for my phone?
Yeah, I'll go get that. Sure. I'll push it.
We strongly believe, Cindy, and know that you know more. Are you worried about getting in trouble? Why?
Because I have nothing to get trouble for.
Okay. And you know that?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. But Richie has everything to get in trouble for. Yeah, this is the car that you drive primarily. But it belongs to both of you, your husband and wife.
This is the warrant for your Honda Pilot and cell phones. That's your copy. You can keep it. And this is a copy of the arrest warrant for Richie Wilder for murder. And I'll tell you what, when we picked him up today, he wasn't a bit surprised.
He didn't respond like you're responding to us. He didn't respond. I mean, if somebody showed up and told me that they have an arrest warrant for me right now for murder, I'd have a lot of questions, and I'd be saying, you know what, you got the wrong guy.
You know what he said to me? He said, okay.
I think you both knew that eventually we were coming. Is that fair to say?
No. You weren't surprised to see me at the school. When I told you in the classroom door that you're gonna come with me down to the police department, you didn't ask one question. You weren't curious whatsoever.
Because I know from watching TV that anything you say is used against you even before your Miranda rights are read to you.
Well, no, I don't think it's that. I don't. I think in the back of your mind, you knew that you would be down here at some point, or you would see us at some point. I think you knew that.
What could be used against you if you did nothing wrong?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, if you did nothing wrong, you're not in trouble. You know that. Richie murdered his ex-wife, and he killed the baby that was inside her stomach. Regardless of who Angila Wilder was, that baby will never see the world.
They wanted more kids.
Oh, because their 5-passenger tiny ass clown car proves that they want more kids.
Do you hate Chris?
I don't even know Chris. I see him on Sundays. I used to see him on Sundays when he picked up the kids from Richie.
And hate, I know, is a strong word, but so to be fair, Chris has done nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's in this because of...
He's trapped because I don't know what he saw in Angela, but started fucking her and got pregnant with, I don't know, whatever, Christopher, the little baby, and then got trapped up here in North Dakota. He fucking didn't want to be here. Who fucking wants to be in Minot, North Dakota? Who?
Are you from here?
No. I'm from the fucking smallest town, Beulah, which is even worse. I moved up here for college.
Okay.
So you're essentially trapped here too, right?
Well, I mean, after I went through college and I got a job, plan on being here for a while, my job.
But you guys Did you talk about moving back to Alabama?
Oh God, not to Alabama.
Okay.
I've been there twice. It's shittier than mine.
Okay. Well, okay. So why was Richie looking at houses in Alabama?
Because they're cheap, and buy a house down there, then you can rent it out and have a second income. His brother lives down there. They're thinking about having a business together, but
So I'm curious about this. You're really angry towards Angela. Okay, and
I'm not angry at anybody. I'm angry at this whole stupid situation.
Every time that Richie shared an email with you, just forwarded an email from Angela to you.
He never forwarded them to me. I just read them right off of his phone, or he sent
them to you
on the phone.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm gonna say every time, your response was a variety of
Dumb bitch,
dumb, stupid bitch, fat bitch, fucking crazy, psycho bitch.
Yeah, because it's crazy. All the things in those emails are lies.
So you didn't need it. You didn't want Angela around either. Obviously. You gotta get the kids back onto a schedule every time you pick her up. 960s constantly. You're abusing, right? That's what they'd say.
Yeah.
And where'd they come from, Angela? It pissed you off. I knew you were pissed off at her the first time we interviewed you.
I'm pissed off at a lot of things. Am I going to go kill my mom because of the shitty child I have had? Am I going to go kill my sister because she doesn't know how to be a fucking mom?
We're not talking about your mom or sister. We're talking about the ex-wife of your husband.
Do you have anything in common with Angela?
Married Richie. Had a kid with him.
And at some point, you'll both be the ex-wife?
If you look at it that way, I guess he's going to leave me.
I think eventually he will.
Eventually, yeah. Had this not happened and your guys' lives went on, there's no way that there's no way that would have survived that relationship. You would have eventually been the ex-wife, and it could just as easily be you. I mean, if he had it in him to do this to Angela, he certainly could do this to you too. Because eventually, you know what? You're going to be the dumb bitch that he's having to deal with now. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be the dumb bitch and the crazy slut, whore, whatever else to the other one.
And we may not be able to see that it was violently physical between you and Richie. But at some point, I think you would have caught on to his other life. And I don't think you're one to hold back when you find out something like that. Because you got pissed off at him when he didn't have his wedding ring on at work.
He doesn't even have a wedding ring. He's never had a wedding ring from our marriage.
You were pissed. You made a comment about all these chicks wanting him. Need to get a wedding ring on that finger. Okay? I think you would have eventually found out about all his extra women on the side, and you would have told him how pissed you were. Richie doesn't like that. He doesn't like to be confronted about his stuff on the side, his ladies on the side, at least still on the side. And eventually, it would have got physical. And he'd already lost his cool at work. That had nothing to do with any of those pictures at all. Nothing. That was on his own volition. He did that all on his own.
More than once.
He lost control. I know twice. Once, Trinity knows about. I know another time. Because he talked about it with somebody.
Has he ever been physical with you?
No.
Because that's strange to me. Because he was in his past. And with domestic violence, that's what we see over.
He fucking had to be with Angela. Bitch is psycho. Well, we'd be in the middle of marketplace and she'd just start swearing at him.
But words are different than physically hurting someone.
Yeah, and when they lived together, she would slap him. She'd slap, fucking didn't close the door properly. 3 years old.
Is that okay? It's not, but that doesn't mean we cause harm to people and physically hurt them or get arrested for it.
And you're hearing that from Richie, right? Have you ever witnessed any of that from her?
Witnessed Angela?
being slap him
physical?
or
No, because anytime I see her, she's sitting in her vehicle.
Right, and that was on Sundays during the exchange, right? Just Chris and Richie would exchange the kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know Angela was mean. I've seen that. I've read it. I've seen it. I've heard about it. I know about it. I know she could be mean. I've read the emails. Regardless of how mean of a bitch somebody can be, it's not okay to kill
Yeah, I believe that too.
them, right? But the thing is if you're angry with her, it shows so much by the responses you have. They're just words.
and that's normal.
When I say stupid bitch, like in those emails, it's mostly like sarcasm, like.
And you can tell me that, but the way I read it, and I'm not, this is physical evidence I'm reading. I read through a lot of it. That's how I know you guys so well. It's angry. And I'm not holding that against you. I can understand to be pissed off at her because she keeps throwing shit at you guys.
And that's all it is. It's just shit. It's her perception of the world. It's her.
And now you guys gonna deal with it. She's gone.
We are still dealing with it. He's gonna be in counseling for the rest of his life.
Richie made that happen. Richie killed Mom.
He would have been in counseling regardless of Angela being dead or not.
Okay.
You say Richie did it. Who was going to counseling this time?
Right, but you know what? Now Mother's dead. It changes the game a little bit with counseling. It may have been in going in that direction as it was, and it's 10 times worse. And Richie just let it happen. Because he's selfish and he thought about his own. Him. He thought about him. That's all. That's it. That's all he's ever thought about. He put on a good show. He was nice to you. He was sweet to you. He did show that he cared about you. Well, I saw both sides of that man. And I never had to talk to him.
You know, when you look at relationships too, and you're thinking she's a crazy bitch or whatever. Okay. You see that in relationships. You're being fed information just within the circle of you and Richie and Angela and Chris and the kids. Okay.
I see other people in the emails.
Other people outside that circle that don't have that same connection or haven't gone through the divorce or anything or aren't related to that connection in any way, talk nice things about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very nice.
Did you interview anybody who works at that Marketplace Foods?
Yes.
Anybody from on base that had to deal with her shit?
Yes.
Anybody from the family advocacy piece, the village where we used to do exchanges?
We've interviewed a lot of people, okay? And I'm not saying that everybody had great things to say, but a lot of them did. I would imagine, because I see it amongst my coworkers and my friends, people that have gone through a divorce. It's normal. I mean, a lot of them, they went through a divorce for a reason, because they just do not mesh. They butt heads. So of course they're not going to have, it's not too often where people remain friends after the divorce. It happens. I mean, there are some, but in most cases, there is some problems. Just like there would be if you and Richie got divorced. And again, like we said earlier, it wouldn't be a matter of if, it would be when. If he was out. We've talked about a lot of things here, and we'll sit here, and I can't guarantee that we would answer any question that you have, but we will certainly consider it.
We've been very open with you to this point.
Yeah, but I still don't know if what you're telling me is truth or bullshit.
Which part?
All of it.
We're neutral. I mean, even though we're doing an investigation, we're neutral to the whole your whole relationship stuff. We would not make this up. I give you my word on that. Can we make this up? Yes, we can.
But it's not.
The courts have said that we can lie to people to further our investigation, or we can use deception. But we are not. This is the truth. We did not make up these pictures and just pull them off the internet. These are real people that Richie is involved with. And I will take it a step further, and Detective Mattice will too, because we've talked about it. We'll show you if we need to. Do we have pictures of him? Do we have we been doing surveillance where we've been taking pictures like they do on cheaters or something like that? No, we don't have pictures of him in the attic. They don't even have pictures on you know what show I'm talking about? You say you watch. Okay. Well, shows where they catch people cheating and stuff. They don't catch the act. I mean, they just catch them there. But we know from the content of his conversations with these girls that he's involved. He would leave work with, is it Jessica? Is that her name? Joanne. Okay, he'd leave work with Joanne after they got off from working a night shift, and they would go straight to her place. And they would go there and they would have sex. And she said, I don't really, she did it 100% for the sex.
And
that's all I would do it for too. I mean, what else is there? I mean, if you're having an affair with somebody, is there anything else?
But she's the only one that was like that. She's the only one that it was just convenient fun. It's almost like they were friends and it was just, hey, let's just go have sex and let's do it. She's the only one that's like that.
Yeah, but
the
Jennifer's
rest of them,
psycho.
Well,
just like Angela.
Well, he's attracted.
Did you interview Jennifer's ex-husband?
Yes. Michael?
Mm-hmm. He's a real gem.
Sounds like it. He likes younger women, doesn't he?
Yeah. Abusive.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I know that. This isn't a hodgepodge if we didn't cover everything. We've checked every box. We've crossed every T, dotted every I. And that's
how many people
where
from
we're
Wilson
here.
Park did you talk to?
Well, we've covered this before with you. We've talked to a lot of people. And all those people, it comes to the point where everybody gets, then everybody will be out there and they'll tell everybody who we talked to. It's going to be record. Obviously, it goes with his murder charges. Everything's taped. Everything's typed out. Every statement, every interview, everything.
So what we're saying right now, it's all going to be typed up?
Yes.
I would guess there's thousands of pages that are part of this case file at this point.
Cell phone stuff alone is thousands of pages.
So Richie did something horrible. And you know it. And it's time that you step up, Cindy, and be the mother that you never had. A lot of people learn from their parents. A lot of people learn good. Most people learn good.
Mm-hmm.
Many learn bad or experience bad. And you've experienced bad. And I'm not saying that. I can only imagine that you took that bad and thought, I'm not going to be that way. But it's time to be honest with us and decide that you're going to change, because you need to change too. And you know it, because you are not comfortable in that body right now. Are you? Be fair. Be honest.
I don't know. I don't know anything else, and it is what it is.
You do know more. You may think, well, maybe this isn't that big of a deal or anything, and it probably isn't, but it would satisfy me to the point to where you're at least telling us what you know, but you're not telling us that right now. Why did you do it?
I still don't know that he did do it.
He did it. We don't need to say that again. You don't get an arrest warrant and put somebody in jail for murder when you don't have the proof that they did it. You don't do that. This isn't TV. TV's close to how things go. That's pretty close. But this isn't TV. We're in real life. And I'll say it again. This isn't just stuff getting thrown together. Everything is in order. And that's why he's in jail for murder.
So why did he do it? Just like Detective Mattice just explained, we're over that hump. He did it. Why did he do it? Because he hates her? Because of money? Because of the children? Why?
You're asking me a question I don't know.
I'm asking you a question that I know you know. I know you know why he did it. You said you're 25 years old. You've probably matured fast at the wrong point in your life. But you need to overcome that and move on from here. But you know more about what went on. Do we need you to tell us that? No. Do we want you to tell us that? Yes. I want to know why. I want to know how. I want to know other
I thought
things.
you knew how she died.
I know part of the how. I don't know all of it. I know there's more to how things are arranged and carried out and stuff like that. That's what I mean by the how. We told you how she died. I want to know more of the other stuff. How important is it for you to sit and tell us? I don't know. Probably not that important. I think it's more important for you and for your well-being to be honest with us and tell us. And again, doing this for several years, we can sit here and talk to a person and it's written on your face that you know more. It's not written what you know, but it's there. You know more. Let's start with that. Is that fair to say?
No,
Why?
because I don't know.
But you lied to us, and essentially it looks like you covered for him. And that was during the first interview with you. You lied about that night.
What did I lie about?
He
Said he was
wasn't
home
there.
all night.
He wasn't home all night. You said you put him there home all night. He wasn't home all night.
When I woke up with my kids, he was home.
Mm-mm.
When did you wake up with the kids?
I don't remember the exact times down, but
And I really don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into tripping you up about your story or anything. But he was not home all night. We know the time frame that we're dealing with. And it's a time frame that you would have known that he's gone. Or that he was gone. Or that he didn't come home. Or whatever the answer to that is. I don't know. I'm asking you that.
He's not good anytime soon to help you with it. Your children need your mom. Richie's children need you. You've been raising them like your own. You're going to continue to do that.
Do you love those children? Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say that to suggest that I don't think you do, because I have nothing to indicate that. Do you love all the children equally? And you're not? Are you pregnant now? Okay. So you have the so you have the 3 kids there, right?
Mm-hmm.
What your mom did growing up, from what I know, just from you spitting out a minute worth of information on her, is not right. What Richie did here is not right. Somehow that needs to come out. Those kids need to be raised to be happy. That's about it. A person just needs to be happy. You can live on a small amount of money and be happy. And then your life is great. But the pattern cannot go on like this, because it's just very destructive. Let's take a second to just, you have information on this. Without telling me anything on it, let's just be fair and with each other. You have information that you can tell us, correct? No. You must. I just can't imagine a relationship that would go through the beginning of this investigation to where you wouldn't be asking questions, you wouldn't be sharing information.
There was a time that you woke up that morning and Richie wasn't there. And from your personality type that I picked up on, you're not one to just let it slide. You asked him. Or you knew where he was going and what he was doing. Or you asked him where he was, what he was doing.
Tell us about that.
He was home the 3 times that I was up in the morning. He was at home.
And the 3 times you were up, what about the other times that you know he wasn't home?
When I was up with the kids, he was at home working. When he wasn't home, it was before I came.
This is your opportunity to tell us right now in person what you do know. But I'll let you know that if you talked about it through an email. You sent them a text message. You talked about anything through Facebook Messenger, anything. And there's a slew of other things that you're looking. And either of your phones, we're going to find it. And then when we do find it, and it incriminates you into this, we're not going to give you the convenience of walking through the school without handcuffs on. When we get to that point where we can put you in with this crime, we're going to come arrest you and find him. We're not, there's no convenience to it. Because we're giving you the chance right now. This is your opportunity. Whether it's now or it's later.
When we leave today, we don't say case closed. When an arrest is made, a lot of times that's when a bunch of the work starts. I mean, yeah, we've done a lot, but we have more to do. There's more. It takes a long time to go through electronics and the content.
But we'll find it.
You're down here for a reason today. And that was so we can visit with you. This, like Detective Matthijs said, this is your opportunity. This is your chance. And believe me, again, I can't stress enough that we understand somebody digging their foot in. We understand that. We understand somebody not wanting to talk. We understand somebody telling one story and they're thinking, oh, I kind of dug myself into that hole or backed myself into that corner. We're not going to think anything bad about you because of that. There's many times where I've talked to people and they tell me something and then we have this conversation and then they just lean forward and say, okay, I wasn't quite truthful on this. I didn't do that. This is the truth. And I don't hold that against anybody because I understand that that's normal.
When it comes to that point that we find that little bit of information and you get arrested on it, you might not have a chance to talk. This is your chance to talk. This is your opportunity. And we don't have to give you any more opportunities. There's nothing written that says we have to. After today, we don't have to ask you why, how, what, when, where, ever again.
Does it go into trial?
If he chooses for it to go to trial, and I'll tell you what, if we go to trial, we're prepared. It doesn't look good. The first obvious clue that doesn't look good is he's in jail for murder today.
My gut feeling right now, Cynthia, is that this isn't fair to you. This isn't fair that you're in this situation. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's more fair than I feel right now, and I'm okay being wrong with that too. But it's my gut feeling right now. What is it that you want to say?
Just that he was at home those 3 times that I was up with the kids.
Okay.
He was at home.
I know, and you're holding on to that.
Yeah.
You're holding on to that tight. But what do you know about his involvement in this?
Nothing.
If that's the truth, Cindy, then that's fine. I mean, maybe he was home during those 3 times that you were up during the night. Is that possible? Sure. But what do you know about this?
I don't know anything.
Yes, you do. There's been so many times that your mind has been to that point that puts that look on your face of, do I say this or don't I say this? Should I just tell him this or not?
And that's why I'm telling you that this is your opportunity. We're not going to let this go. However today ends, we're not done.
Well, I just want you to know, if I ever die, don't investigate it. Just fucking, I'm dead. Move on with your fucking life.
No.
Honestly, do that.
It doesn't
No.
happen that way.
If that ever happened to you, just like it happened to Angela, and it happens to many people around our world, I can only speak for the city of Minot. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to bat for you.
You're a human being. You're a person. It doesn't matter what your history is. It doesn't matter who they are. Nobody deserves to be killed.
Why would you deserve that?
I don't know. I think it's just people get so wrapped up on everything. Like, just move on with your life. Like, have you ever heard one of Taylor Swift's fucking song about the breakup? Fucking move on with your life. Like, fuck. Like, Adele just as bad. I'm gonna call you 1,000 times. No, fucking don't.
I know you.
Like, just move on.
Cindy, one thing I don't move on for is the person that cannot speak for themselves. And in many cases, that's a child. That may be a 1-year-old with a broken arm, or a 3-year-old that's been sexually molested. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick, right? Well, we have a child in this situation. We have an unborn baby. And now we have someone that can't speak for themselves.
And I'm very, I mean, you brought that up. If you're ever found dead, God, I hope that's not ever the case. I think I don't know you that well, but I think you're a decent person. You became a teacher because you wanted to help, even though that they're driving you fucking crazy right before Christmas.
Yeah.
And Mom, I think they frustrate you, but I think you do your best as a mom. I really do. And being a mom is stressful. I am a mom. I know exactly how it is. It's a heck. Kids.
Alex is there if you want.
To do that, I mean, you're gonna have to be there. So don't lead us in the direction that we have to. If you know something,
Let's go with your gut feeling then. If I were to believe that you didn't know anything, you certainly had to think that Richie was involved in this.
No.
it never crossed your mind. Why not? You know there's a history there.
You and Richie do not have the relationship to where, I mean, I don't mean to use myself as an example, but if my
Are
somebody,
100% honest with each other.
oh, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be telling us a lot about this murder. But if somebody sat my wife down and said, yeah, told her that I'm in jail for murder, she would be devastated. She wouldn't act like I'm not surprised. And that was your response.
No, I don't believe you. That's my response.
What do you need? What do you need to? When he walked by you this last time, he was on his way to the jail. He's going to jail. He's booked in. He's sitting in a jail cell. And he's not getting out. He's staying there. Okay, you're gonna look at him through glass. Not gonna touch him. Nothing.
You see him before I leave here?
Nope. He's gone. And
The
if you
jail is
really
not
don't
here.
know, and if you really weren't there, how convenient of that was for him to use your vehicle to go there and do this. He didn't give a shit. He put you there with him. Okay. But how convenient that he used your vehicle in the commission of a murder. Her blood's in your heart.
Richie doesn't give a shit that we're investigating you.
No, he didn't care. I told him that you weren't going to be able to help, and he knew why. He didn't say a word. He didn't defend you. He didn't ask why. He doesn't care that you're down here. He knows you're here. You don't care. He's worried about himself. Huh? Who took care of that? Got home. We're not monsters and evil people. We made sure that your children were cared for and there were people that they know with them.
So they at my apartment right now?
Yes, they are.
With Grandma.
Yeah.
Kind of glad it worked out that way because our other option was CPS, but we knew that she came up here.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a couple weeks.
She's been here. Yeah.
We're at a point where you can start to live your life the way that Cindy chooses to live it, not the way that Richie chooses. And you may sit here and think that and go, I didn't choose. I do what I want. I do this. I want it. Besides this and that, but
No.
he is a manipulator. We know that.
He's got you at home taking care of the kids, and he's got you working, and he puts you right where he needs you to be so that he can do his thing. He gets to work out, gets to work. He gets to have during the day off so that either Grandma can watch the kids or Janelle can watch the kids. Who watches the kids so you can go do something? When's the last time you were out with friends? Or did a hobby that you like? You don't like to drink alone. Not many people do. It's weird. When's the last time you got out and had a good time? I know you wanted to spend time with Richie or with the kids. Never happened.
I also don't like leaving my kids with babysitters or
Right.
even with family. I don't like that.
I can understand that. But Richie never made a point to try to be with you and go do something. I don't like telling you all of these nasty, horrible things about your husband that you didn't know. I don't like doing that. I don't. Whether you believe me or not, I don't like doing that to people. But you need to know, and I need it to be very clear, that he did not care what he was doing. He was taking care of him, no matter what need he was needing. Friendship, working out, physical, health, sexual.
Does it hurt to hear these things? Or not? Are you beyond that, or does it hurt you? And again, we're not trying to do that, but is it painful to see the pictures of these girls?
They're just pictures of their face. That doesn't tell me anything.
Well, it tells me a lot. It shows me what he's attracted to. Because to me, I look at them and, gosh, from a distance, they look like sisters. They're very similar. Their builds are very similar. Their looks, their hair color, their hairstyle. And I don't really know what to make of all that either. But we don't do it to hurt you. We do it so you know the truth. You're very young, Cindy. Very, very young. You have time to live a happy life. You have more than enough time. You're barely an adult, and I don't mean that insultingly. I mean that, I used to think when I was in my 20s, oh gosh, I'm already in my mid-20s, but I look back wishing that the changes that I wished that I would have made, I had more time than I thought. We're not going to make you sit here all night.
Okay, good, because I usually use the bathroom when all my kids are gone at 3 and I've been home for a while.
So you have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but I'll wait till I get home. I don't like using public bathrooms. I don't even use the bathroom at school very often.
Okay. But we do want you to tell us what you know, and we do know that you know more. So I wish you would just be honest with us and tell us what you know. I don't believe that. I believe a lot of what you said today, but I don't believe that. That's not true. You know stuff. When you heard the morning, well, let me just ask you this again. When did you first find out that there was an issue at Angela's house?
Well, when I took her to school, I saw those cop cars.
Okay. And how did you respond to that?
Just typical Friday at Angela's house. Just being crazy. Probably called the cops on Chris. They got in a fight.
So you've seen that before?
Well, not that many cars, but I mean, several police cars at our house.
Okay. You saw the police tape? The yellow tape around the house?
I don't know if it was already up when I drove by. I don't remember. I just know there was a lot of cop cars and more cop cars coming.
From the car? When you saw everything? I mean, I don't know which way you come into this pool.
Yeah. Well, you can turn on 4th going north.
Okay. So what did you do after that? I mean, I know what you're thinking, but...
I told you all this before. At school, called Richie, got a coffee and went to work.
How did your conversation go with Richie?
There's a bunch of cop cars at Angela's house. It was quiet in the car. We'll get a coffee.
Say?
I said, I hope everything's okay.
He killed Angela. He knew why the cop cars were there.
One thing that bothers me sitting here talking to you is how hard you're digging in. It makes me wonder if you were involved more than what you're telling us, or if there's something that you can get in trouble for here.
Mm-hmm. If it doesn't come out today, it'll come out.
And you know that there's other ways that you could get in trouble than directly being involved. I mean, I think that's been made obvious in TV and the movies too. When you say you watch all that stuff, you know that you can get in trouble for different things that are just related to the crime. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose.
Accessory.
If you cover up for somebody.
Conspiracy.
If you had a conversation and you know details about someone's involvement. If you lie. So there's multiple things that can come back around.
We don't plan on, I mean, obviously it depends on what you tell us. But our plan right now, if you have information on this, isn't to hook you up and to take you to jail tonight. I mean, that's not our goal here. My goal here is just for you to be honest with us and tell us what you know. What you know, what you suspect, what your involvement was. Are you going to tell us, Cindy?
I don't have anything to tell.
Well, do you still have our cards?
Yeah.
Both of them?
Well, they're in my school bag.
Yep, I have it.
I'll give you mine again. I don't believe you. And if I'm wrong on that, I'm sorry, but it's time for you to rearrange Cindy's life. And it's time for you to work on being happy. Because you do not come across to me as somebody who's happy. You're worn down. You're beaten up. You're exhausted. And I think you have been for many years. More of your lifetime than not. So you can, if you don't want to talk now, I beg of you to please reconsider and call us. We can come visit with you. You can visit with just Detective Mattice. You can visit with just me. We can talk over the phone. We can meet somewhere. We can meet down here. Whatever you choose to do. And we're okay with that.
Even if it's tomorrow or Sunday, whenever. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter time of day.
I think it's a weight that you need to get off your shoulders.
Your phone is staying here. Your car is staying here.
Oh, can I get my credit card and my license?
Yes, I have that, and I will bring your bag too as well.
Do you know how long we'll have my phone? Did you guys have Richie's for this whole time?
Yeah, it's not getting it back. Only have this new one too.
Any questions or anything else that you want to say? Do you have a way to get home?
No, I don't know anybody's phone numbers. They're all programmed on my phone. What about my school computer? I'll need it for book on Monday.
If I can get it back to the school on Monday, then I will. But I will be in contact with the principal tonight and make him aware that we do have it in our possession.
Okay.
Okay? The phone number you need, we can get the phone number out of your phone. And you have phones. Well, we do have. Richie had Ben's truck.
Oh, I got it here.
No, it's up at Ask Fitness.
No.
We have the keys, and there was an investigator that was going to take the keys back to Ben. So
they're out of town.
They're out of town. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if you want to call them, and if they're okay with us giving you the keys, you just have to find your way back up to Ask Fitness.
Have you been using their truck, or has Richard?
Well, they're out of town, so we have to feed their fish when they're out of town.
Where are the fish?
In their apartment.
Do they know that Richardson's in the truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
He got in a car accident the other day, so his red car is at Jerome's.
Okay.
So, do you want to call them then? And see if you can use the truck, or what do you want to do at this point?
Yeah, I suppose, because do you know when I'll get my car back? Or?
It could be a very long time. It could be, you brought up trial. If it goes to trial, we'll probably have it the whole time. Do you have car seats in there?
Yeah.
That, obviously, we're okay with releasing car seats back. You need those for your children, so, but other than that, you're very likely not to get that car back.
I think the car seats are just, you leave them in there? You've had them in there for a while?
Yeah.
Okay. You saw the search warrant. We're obviously, we found evidence in your car, Richie's vehicle and your vehicle. So we're processing it further, which will include those car seats. But I would think we'd be able to release them after they're done with that, which may be now. I'm not sure. It's not now. Okay.
Not yet.
Well, we'll just go home and I'll just stay at home.
So do you have Ben's number in your phone? Or
no, I have Janelle's number.
Do you want me to go get Janelle's number for you then?
Yeah, I think it's just her first name. I don't think I have her last name.
Okay. Actually,
and then, well, then, because I'll get her permission to get her keys, but then I'll still need somebody to call to go get the car from this Ask Fitness.
Do you have somebody else that you get on the phone? There's a taxi company.
Oh, there's another contact in my phone. Amy Neal.
Who?
Amy Neal.
Neal?
Yep, Amy Neal.
Okay.
We'll just I know we talked about if you have more information to reach out to us. And we've offered what we certainly believe is proof of Richie's behavior. And I mean, if it's sometime,
I want to see the weapon. I want to see his fingerprints on it. I want to see where it stabbed her. I want to see pictures. I don't have any information at all. I don't have any evidence.
we gave you a lot.
This is your word and 3 pictures of women.
If it was my word, you're talking about his sexual affairs?
Oh, I don't give 2 shits about that right now. I'm more concerned about my husband being in jail for a murder, and you say it was a knife. Well, where is this knife? Were his fingerprints on this knife?
You know, Cindy, in the perfect world, we'd have a video of every crime that happened. We'd have superheroes that
Angela, she had surveillance of her house.
When did she say that?
In a text message, she said, or not in text because they don't text, in an email, she said, "Oh yeah, I see every time you drive by my house, blah, blah, blah."
Well, let me tell you this. If she had surveillance of her being murdered, we would have picked up Richie right away that day. Okay?
Bag and yours. Okay, credit card and your driver's license, and there's the 2 phone numbers.
Okay. And then just a phone out here or something like this.
We'll take it to the booking room. Should be open. And we have keys from right